Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Greetings. This is STEMGo, saving time, energy, and money in your business. Basically, for small business owners to be efficient and effective at what they do. So this is a great show. We have talented guests on this show who share some of the things that they get up to in their world, which is great to be able to share with you, so that you can actually learn from that and implement it in your business, in your life generally. So. Welcome today, Max Hitchins. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Karen. Thank you for having me on your Facebook page, your program. I've been really looking forward to this.
Yes, me too. We nearly had this show a while ago, and then you were a bit poorly, so we couldn't do it because you lost your voice.
But I was poorly. I'm okay now.
I'm so glad we reschedule this show, because I think there's some great, stunning things to learn from your experience. So tell us, where are you today? Where are you calling from?
I'm in my home office, and I've been. I always begin my days with a long swim. So I've had my swim, and I'm as fresh and as ready and raring to go as I possibly can be.
Whereabouts in the world are you? Remind people.
In Sydney, in Sydney. I'm a Sydney boy these days. I was a bushie. I came from a small country town in the northwest of New South Wales, a place called Moree, many years ago. Came to Sydney and been here for a long time. Enjoy it enormously.
Stunning, a beautiful place, eh? So
it is.
you a little bit told me, Max, that you've been able to retain a whole bunch of information. Not only did you learn it, but you retained it. And I'd like to know a bit more about that, because I think that is a wonderful gift. It's a wonderful skill that you've got. I don't know if it's a gift. I think it's definitely some. Well, you tell me. Definitely some.
I was a bit worried when you said a gift. No, it's not a gift. Certainly not for me. I know some people say, "Oh, you must have a very special memory." No, it's not. I've worked hard at it, and I've developed my memory, and I think that really is the key. Pretty much the key to anything, isn't it? You've got to work hard at it. But I did develop a system of memory hooks. I call them memory hangers, and as a result of this, it's allowed me to develop a whole heap of things wrapping around it, and develop some very simple things like. Have you ever put your keys down somewhere, or your telephone, or and you can't find it? You know, most of us have done that at some point in time. We go looking for it. That's the way around that. A way to solve that. There's no great genius in this. It's just a matter of getting into the habit of putting them down on, preferably, somewhere white. Look for anytime you're about to put your phone down, your keys down. Find preferably a light-coloured top and put it there, and get into the habit of putting it, really looking for somewhere, because we sit down on couches and chairs and whatever, we put them alongside of us, and then someone throws a rug over the couch and we've lost the phone. So it really is a habit of to get into. How do I make sure I do that?
Yes.
Remembering names. My focus is the hospitality industry. And one of the most important things you can do in the hospitality industry is simply remember the names of people. And how important is that? I talk of in the hospitality.
It is.
But it's not just hospitality. It really is everywhere, and it is important if you can develop that skill. So I've written a series of memory ebooks about how to remember names, about how to remember speeches. If you've ever been thrown into the realm of having to speak at a function, you're standing there and someone turns to you, "Karen, will you say a few words?" You think,
Yes. Max, let's stop off on the name thing, because I did call one of my guests the wrong name yesterday. And
I heard that.
You did.
I was researching.
Let's stop off on the name thing, because I am a visualizer. visualizer. I visualize things so well. That's how I learn things. I visualize. But when it comes to
Excellent. Then I've
listening,
got what
give us some tips.
Okay. Well, number one thing when you say when it comes to listening is the most important thing is to hear the name. How many times has someone introduced someone to you and they say, "Oh, Karen, this is," and they slur over the name, possibly because they've forgotten the name anyway, and.
Yes.
Or you simply didn't hear it. Now, the number one thing you have to do is hear the name. If you don't hear the name, you've got no chance of remembering it. Pardon me. When you hear the name, it's important to repeat the name.
Okay.
It is Karen, isn't it? And then follow that up with Karen. How do I spell Karen? Is it Karen or is it Karren? It doesn't matter how stupid that question may sound. Yeah. The fact that you're really internalizing it. People say to me, "Oh, well, yes, but what about if they say their name's John? My name's John Smith." Well, think about it. It could be Jonathan. It could be spelt with a Jonathan or O-N, or it could be just Jon. So I simply say, is that spelled Jon, or is it Jonathan, or is it? So again, I'm internalizing it.
Sure. Yes.
To give myself time to. If you just hear, see, we're going to talk for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. And you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. People say, and I'm sure you've heard this, you probably said it yourself, I've got a much better memory for faces than I have for names.
Yes, and that's me.
Well, that's everyone. Now, you know the reason why that's the case. You see, we're going to be looking at each other for 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever it may be.
Yes.
And I'm internalizing your face and you're internalizing mine. And but if I sat in front of you for that same amount of time and said, "My name is Max Hitchins, my name is Max Hitchins, my name is Max Hitchins," you would probably remember the name.
I'm sure
it'd be a pretty boring conversation. But that's why we remember faces better than we do remember names. So it's up to us.
Makes sense.
It's up to us to realize that. And then work at how do I. Now, there's another thing you talk about being visual. Has this ever happened to you? You've someone's coming towards you, or you're trying to remember a name, and you start to go through the alphabet. A, B, C, D. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Again, most of us have done that. Trying to do it. I've developed an animal alphabet.
Okay.
And the animal, and so I have a series. I'm just going to hold that up like that, which we're not going to see much of. But it's a series of, for me, if you're K, for instance, my K is kangaroo. So I immediately associate Karen with kangaroo.
Oh, that's nice. I like kangaroo.
So well, I can see a kangaroo on your shoulder. So I bump you in the street somewhere or other, and I can see kangaroos on your shoulders, and so I immediately then know your name starts with Karen, with K. So that gives me a big start. If you can remember what the name starts with, you give yourself a reasonable chance, as against going through the 26 letters saying, does it begin with A? Does it begin with B? Does it begin with C? Now I have an animal for each letter. Alligator, A for alligator, B for boxer, C for camel, D for donkey, E for elephant, F for frog.
Yes. But Max, let me just ask you: have you ever accidentally called a Karen a kangaroo, though? Like, how do you stop yourself from going that next step?
No, but I might call you Kate. Or I may make a mistake like that.
Yes.
No, I've never called someone kangaroo or frog or whatever. Remembering, it's just a prompt. It's a bit like, if I asked you to say the Man from Snowy River, for instance, the Banjo Paterson poem, and you think, Man from Snowy River, how does it go? How does it go? How does it go? There was movement at the station, and the word had passed around that the colt from Old Regret had got away. Once I get the starter, once I get the prompt,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm okay. And that's what
You're
the
aware.
kangaroo is
Yeah,
for you. It's a prompt to just try and help me get into it. That's what it's
yes.
about.
No, that does make so much sense
That
because at
makes
least
sense.
you've got the right letter to start with, and then at least you've got
Yeah,
something to prompt. Well, there can't be
yeah,
that many
yeah,
names
exactly.
beginning with K.
Well, and then of course you can go just the using the vowels, the K-A, K-I, A-E-I-O-U, and there's a fairly good chance I'm going to have the first two letters without too much worry. And with you, of
Yes.
course, K-A, and I'm halfway there, so I'm sort of
Yes.
it's
Yes.
with Kate or Karen. So I'm giving myself the best possible chance.
Yes. So
That's
that's
what
kind
that's all
of
about.
that's a simple thing that I've got to master because I have got a bit of a stickler with names. What about when I know you have done something pretty special. I know you won't call it a gift. It's something that you've learned and you've worked bloody damn hard at it to do it. But what I would say
Yeah.
is you memorized a lot of information and was able to retain it, to be able to regurgitate it later. Tell us a bit about that.
That's the memory hanger system. I have a series of memory hangers, and again, same kind of thinking because it's all about imaging. And you said you're good at imaging or seeing rather than the remembering of the name. I have 100 hangers, and these are the first 10, if you like. T, Noah, May, Ray, Lord, Jaw, Key, Fee, Bay, Toes, Tot, Tin, Tam, Toe. So I've got a whole series, and it's a bit. I'm not going to be able to explain the whole lot to you at this point in time. But I have 100 of those memory hangers, and I do exactly the same thing. I connect if I'm going to the supermarket. Have you been to the supermarket to buy 6 items and you got there and you remembered 4 of them? Haven't we all done that? If you can remember, say 10 of these hangers. And that is T, Noah, May, Ray, Law, Jaw, Key, Fee, Bay, Toes. I'm saying if you can remember that. And you say, oh, but that's a bit difficult. Hey, you remembered the alphabet, didn't you? And you did that when you were about 3, and you still use it every day. This is the same. This is the same thing. This is just learning another alphabet, if you like. So is it? And then of course you link them. You wanted to buy, you're going to the supermarket and you want to buy, say 5 things. Give me 5 things. Say jam. You want to buy some strawberry jam. So my first hanger is tea, and my visualization is a teacup. So I visualize the jam. And the key is to put movement and size into it. So I can see this. I can see this big, huge, big teacup, and I can see strawberry jam, and I can see the strawberries dropping into the teacup, and I can see the teacup on legs, and it's trying to get up and run away. So there's my first memory hanger. Forget all about that. Second one is butter. Noah is my second hanger. T, Noah, May. Noah, I can see animals going onto the ark with Noah there, and each animal has got an enormously big pound of butter that they're carrying on their back or under their arms or whatever. Okay, forget about that. You give me something else you need now today that you're going to buy at the supermarket, and we'll build
bread.
a picture.
Let's get
some bread. Okay. T, Noah, May. My third hanger is May, and for me, May is a maypole. You know the maypole that you see going round and round and round. So I can see this maypole going round and round and round with enormous big loaves of bread on the maypole as it spins round.
Okay.
So you see we've done 3. Let's go back to the tea. What was tea? What did we see? The tea was the teacup, and we had jam. You remember? And what did we have? We had strawberries coming in the cup. Noah, what was Noah? It was the butter, and we saw the animals going. May was the bread. So that's very quickly very how you do it. So it's about building images. And rather than trying to remember the words on the list or writing down the list, you can do it. And the good part about that is how many times during the day do you see things so you think, oh, gee, I've got to do that. And of course, as soon as you get home, you've forgotten, what was that I thought? This is where you can use the images. And as you're driving along in the car, you do build yourself a crazy, silly image. And so when you get home, you've got that image in your head rather than saying, I had to ring someone. That's that's really the secret behind it. And,
okay, Max. So you know the hangers that you get. I get this. It is stunning. I love it. I love it. I love it because it's right down my street with the visuals. I definitely can use this. What I would say is with the hangers, does it have to be like if someone was to use your ebook and to learn your hangers, would that work, or do they need to have their own hangers to make this work for them?
You can certainly buy my ebook. What a good idea! but you can develop your own hangers if you want a way of doing that. A way of doing that is the hangers in your house, as your flat or your unit or whatever. As you walk into your home, you can develop your own if you like, and say the first 10 things you see. Walk in, you see the door. So number 1 might be door. Number 2 might be the cat or the dog. Number 3 might be the refrigerator. You can do it that way, or you can certainly do it using my format. That's not a problem, but it's you have to work at it. But once you do get it, and people, why is memory so important to us? And there are 3 stages I look at. Between 10 and 20, we need memory at school. We need memory for uni, etc., in our formal education. Between 20 and 60, we need memory to keep on improving our memory for our work, our career, and from 60 onwards, we need to keep our memory working, or to keep working on our memory, battling the onset of dementia, Alzheimer's. Everything I read says you need to with Alzheimer's. They don't know, haven't got all the answers, but everything seems to point to you need to exercise your body, eat correctly, and exercise your mind. And what this is exercising your mind. See, I memorised the first, second, and third of the Melbourne Cup winners for the last 100 years using this system. So, and I'm forever just running through that list, exercising my mind.
That was going to be my next question, Max. Is how long do you retain that for if you don't practice it, or is it just you do have to rehearse it still? You do have to practice it.
Yeah, yes, you do have to practice it. It's a bit like I play the piano. I went to a music teacher about 20 years ago and said, I have absolutely no musical ability, but I really would like to play the piano. Can you teach me? And she did say, she said, everyone has musical ability. I said, I'm probably going to disappoint you. I don't think I do have. But so she taught me to play the piano, but I practice the piano every day. I don't practice it, actually. I play the piano. Someone taught me you don't have to, because the word practice, I've got to go and practice it. Well, I don't practice it, but I like to just sit and play the piano for whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour or something. And so it's enjoyment rather than thinking you must practice it. For me, that's what the memory thing is. It's just I'm enjoying it. I love doing it. It makes sense?
It makes a whole bunch of sense, Max. It really does. Now, I know that you've got some great things that people can get from you to help them, because it is an issue, I think, no matter what age you are. And I think a lot of people put their memory issues down to age. So it's because I'm old. But actually, like you just said, the brain is a muscle. It's an important muscle in your body. And if you don't use it, it easily deteriorates. And it is for anyone, this. I think this is a great skill for anyone to learn at any age. I think they should teach this in school, Max. I think you should get onto campaigning about this.
Karen, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, today. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still you can start improving your memory.
Absolutely. I'm totally with you on that. So how can people get hold of your lovely materials, help them to do this?
Probably the easiest way is just go to Google and look for Max Hitchins. I can give you URLs and whatever, but if you look for Max, MAXHITCHINS, that you'll find me there many times, and you can click on those.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me today, Max. I really do appreciate it. And I did get your name right today, which is stunning.
No problems.
I have spoke with you many times, and I get to see your face a lot. So I've put the name with the face. So that really helps me. So,
well, you see, it's not a problem, and this is something that we sort of think, oh, I've forgotten the name, and I have no problem saying, can I ask you your name again? Yes. I'm sorry, names are important to me. I really like to remember it. I'd rather say that than kid you that I remember who you are, or call you dear or darling or sweet or mate or buddy or pal. I'd rather remember your name. So I don't think people are offended if you say, can I ask you your name again?
Yes,
don't be afraid to do it.
That's so true. Yes, that is so true. Well, thank you, Max, for joining us today. I will put some show notes on this broadcast afterwards and let people know where they can get hold of you. And yes, thanks so much for sharing your tips today. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Been a delight to be on with you.
Yes. Have a productive day. Talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Bye. Hey guys, what a show that was. Max was such a stunning guest, and he's got such great skills, things you learn. You know, I'm glad that Max corrected me on that, because it is something you learn. It's not just a gift that you have presented to you. It's something you have to work at. And it's also something that once you've done it, it's not necessarily that you retain it. You have to continue to do it, to practice it, to work your muscle, work your brain, to make it happen. So thanks for joining us again today. Lots more content, videos, interviews, etc., at STEMGo Facebook page. Save time, energy, money in your business. Please come on and connect with me. I'd love to have you either on the show as a guest, or tell us about what you thought of the show, what kind of things you want to see on this show. I'd love to hear from you. So all for now, best of a day for you. You're productive in what you do, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.